What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome to a quick squad builder. We're going to do a Premier League squad builder full of meta players that you can use straight into your team. I'm going to walk you through the process about why I'm choosing each player, why they're very good in that position, why they're worth the money, and you might see some unorthodox reasonings, but these will all come to fruition towards the end of the video. Now we're going to start with a 4-3-3 flat, because obviously it's all Premier League players. The formation doesn't really matter too much, just about getting the positions correct. And we're going to start with the main marksman man. Now, with a 500k team, your budget is, well, you have quite a lot of budget, but the question is, you want to make a Premier League team, you need to find someone that's a marksman player. There's players like Martial that are in the game, but Martial has that 3-star weak foot, and I think that's what really puts him down. I think, if you want a player that wants to play in striker, you need for him to have good stats. Now, Heung-min Son on a Hunter is probably the best striker you can get in the Premier League, period. The reason why is because he's got that 5-star weak foot. There's not that many strikers that got 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and these stats. Agility, balance, also very important. Players like Richarlison, they don't have. We're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 or 4-1-2-1-2 system, but we're going with Son, and next thing we're going with Richarlison. Now, Richarlison is just very much like Son. Richarlison is on a much cheaper side, on about 30% cheaper, you can argue. Well, not even less than 30%. Son has actually risen to 300. I think it's 400k now. Son's risen up to. Let's have a double check on Son's price. Okay, so yeah, he's gone back 280. Richarlison goes for about 30k. He's actually worth the money. He's a very, very good card. He has a 5-star weak foot. He does lack the agility and balance though. He does lack the pace. Yeah, you can put a Hunter on him to maybe get those stats up, but when you do, the agility balance is just not good enough. So there's a debate point. Do you put a finisher on him to get the agility and balance up? I think you have to. I think he's more of a cam player. That's the way I look at him. I see him as a cam player. He's got decent short passing, 77, so he can play that cam position or a second striker. I would recommend either a Hunter or a finisher on him. And the next thing we're going to go with Mahrez. Now, there isn't that many good right wingers in the Premier League. If you want a full Premier League team, there's not that much choice. Truthfully speaking, you ideally want to play someone off chemistry, is ideally what you want to do. But because there isn't that many options, you have Lucas Moura, which is not a bad option, but he's a bit too expensive. If you can afford Lucas Moura, I'll definitely say go towards him, because he's got that agility and balance. And you look at Bernardo Silva, he's not really worth it. Because of that pace. So left wings, again, there's not really that much choice. You do have Zaha, but then again with Zaha, if you're going to play that price, what's the point really? You do have Jota, but I think he's too slow. I think, if you want to go for someone that's pretty good, someone like Mahrez can play a cam role, like just behind these two, like in a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, or in a 4-4-2 can play on the wing. And I'll be honest, his sprint speed is not too bad once you put a Hunter on him. I know it looks terrible now, but when you put a Hunter on him, he has all the stats naturally, and he has agility balance and a 5-star, 4-star. So he's very good in that respect. Then we're going to go with the other winger or other striker. We're going to go with Rodrigo. Rodrigo is one of the most overpowered players. He's one of the only few players that, because even though he's got a 3-star weak foot, I would still use him. I would definitely go with a finisher on him though, because I think he's got the 81 short passing already, and I think you need to get that agility and balance up because he is 6 foot and he's really good as a wing player. If you're going to use him as a wing player, I think it'll be good. What you can also do is you can slap an engine on him. So if you want to use him as just a pure winger, you can slap an engine on him, get his pace up alongside his passing, get his short passing up, and of course you want to get his dribbling up as high as possible. Don't forget, the players that are very tall, anyone that's on a range of 6 foot, you need to apply some sort of engine if they don't have the good agility and balance, or they're going to feel very clunky in game. You don't want the players to feel clunky. Then we're going to go over the 2 CDMs. We're going to first start with Sissoko, the most versatile centre mid in the game. Only players that compare him are like Llorente, Valverde, and Sissoko is definitely in that category. The 85 sprint speed, if you can, try to purchase him with a shadow. 85 sprint speed can do everything that you want. Definitely try to get him on a shadow though, to get that 94 sprint speed, 91 stand tackling, and he will be a beast. At 6'2" with that aggression stats, there's no one that can really compete with him. And the next thing we've gone with Bamin. Now you have 2 choices. You can use Bamin. Bamin is a more defensive option. If you struggle with defending and you're struggling with counter attacks, what you can do is you can buy a Bamin with a shadow, and he's got that sprint speed, and he's got that stand tackling and that defensive awareness, which is very important. If you're not that much of a, let's say you're playing very well and you're not struggling with defending too much, you can get an attacker. Someone like Fred can get the job done very well in this instance, but it does increase the budget so much, and Fred's going to go down in the next couple of weeks. After the first couple of weekend leagues, he's going to collapse. And I'll be honest, in the Premier League, there's no one really that good centre mid-rise. You do have the likes of Ronaldo, but it's obviously exceptionally expensive. And as you go down, Henderson is too slow, and Ndidi is not a bad option. The reason why I wouldn't say Ndidi is he does lack that pace, and although he's got very good defense stats, I'm not doubting it. I just think this year sprint speed is so important. When you put 82 sprint speed compared to Bamin's 93 sprint speed, there's no comparison. The most important thing is you want is pace in defense, because if your opponent does a through ball in behind, you're able to catch up. You're not going to catch up to a 90 rated pace striker compared to, for example, someone like Ndidi. He's not going to catch up. I'm sorry. So just do bear that in mind. Ndidi, I wouldn't really use him, but if you want, you can. If you want to use drop between defenders, but I'll definitely go with Bamin. If you do want to go on the upper budget, you can go for Fred. Now, the back four is going to be more of an, I suppose you can say, an unorthodox, the nil guide style setup. What we're going to do is going to look for players that can fit the role very, very well. Left back, we're going with Reguilon. The best left back in the Premier League. There's no one really in comparison. There's cheaper players like Tierney, but in order to find a good Premier League left back, you know, Robertson is too slow in my opinion. Teller's not available in the game yet, and that way, you know, the only viable option is Tierney, and there is Reguilon. There is that other player from Liverpool as well, but he's just too low rated. Van Aanholt is actually not too bad, but as you can see, he's too low rated. So I think Reguilon is a very good player for 5k. I'd say definitely buy him with a shadow. Again, you might be thinking, why am I talking about a shadow? It's important. Pace is very important this year. You know how bad you played this game. You're watching this right now. You know how many counter attacks. I can guarantee you 50% of your goals can see that counter attack. So just go with the pace and then thank me after. In terms of the goalkeeper, we've gone with Mr. Leno. And you know, I think he does a good job. He's 6'3". You can go with Pope. People have certain preferences. Pope is actually not bad because he's very tall. Some people prefer Pope over Leno, but because of the distribution, I prefer Leno. But if you don't, and you don't mind, you know, the distribution being too bad, again, there isn't really that many options. The only other option is Areola. Areola, I'll be honest, is a very good player that I would recommend. He's 6'4". He's got everything you need. The only thing I would say with him, he doesn't have the saved feet trait, but he gets the job done very well. So I'll say between Leno and Areola, I'm kind of in between both of them. I do use Areola on my main account, but I do feel that Leno has the extra edge just in some situations. And I think also the distribution as well on Leno is a tad bit better as well. And if you go, and don't forget, the most important thing is when you go into these in-game stats, and also handling also comes to be important when it comes to corners. But don't forget, you always want to go into these in-game stats. You always want to check stuff like reactions, and the reactions are just a tad bit higher on Leno. But it's debatable how you want to do this. But I would say definitely go with Leno or Areola, whichever one you prefer. And then for the centre backs, let's be honest, Ake is too expensive. Now, this is the thing. Why would you want to put someone like Ake in defence when you can get someone like Wan-Bissaka on 7 chemistry? So this is the way we're going. We're going to put Cancelo over here, and we're going to put Pereira over here. Now you're probably thinking, is this guy crazy? He's playing fullback, centre back. Well, listen, you got to think about this very carefully, okay? Now let's just put a manager. We're going to go with Pep, and we're going to go to Premier League. Now think about this very carefully, okay? What's the meta this year? Getting in behind. So pace is the most important thing. You got players like Gomez that cost an arm and a leg, 120k, and the player that comes close to him is Ake. Now, why on earth would you play this? So let's compare Ake, for example. Now, Ake is going to be on 10 chemistry. Let's compare Ake and let's compare Wan-Bissaka. So we're going to compare Wan-Bissaka as well next to him. Now we can see Wan-Bissaka. So Wan-Bissaka completely annihilates. So let's say even if you put a shadow on him, and let's say even if Wan-Bissaka was off chemistry, let's say you put an anchor on Wan-Bissaka, because don't forget he's off chemistry on 7 chemistry. Let's say like this. Wan-Bissaka wins on sprint speed. It wins in dribbling. In defending, there isn't really that much in it. It's like, you know, 96 is the same. Stat tackling is only one difference. 2+ marking. Slightly less interceptions, and he's got better strength and aggression, so it does work out. I would recommend putting someone like Wan-Bissaka instead of Ake, and he's much cheaper. So what you do in game is we're going to put Pereira over here, and we're going to put Pereira in centre back. Pereira is another good centre back as well. As you can see, he has got the height as well. It's 6'9". I mean 5'9". Sorry, it's not the end of the world. But you can put an anchor on him and easy increase those stats. But in game, so we'll start off like this for chemistry purposes. Then in game, what we'll do is you're going to play a 4-2-3-1. What you do is you put Son in striker, and you'll put Rodrigo on the right hand side because he's left-footed, 3-star weak foot, and he's Mario's left-footed as well, but you put him on the left-hand side because he's got a 4-star weak foot. And in game, Wan-Bissaka will go to centre back, so he starts in right back to get full chemistry, and that way you have Pereira and Wan-Bissaka. I can promise you, use this back line, you will thank me later. It will honestly save you. Just trust me, use it for a lot of games. Don't just use it one game and you'd be like, I've lost. It's the fullback's fault. It's probably not. Just trust me on that. If you're going to play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, that's the original way I would have gone with it in the beginning. If you're going to play a 4-4-2, I'd probably go with the likes like this with Richarlison and Son and striker. Put Richarlison and come back on offense. If you're going to go with a 4-1-2-on-2, which is I think the best for this formation, I would put Mahrez in centre mid or Cam. I'll put Bamin in CDM, Sissoko over there, and I'll put the two 5-star weak foots in striker. And it's up to you. Either put Rodrigo in on striker, like a centre forward, like a second striker, and stay forward, or you can put Mahrez. Rodrigo as a left centre mid is going to be attacking, so it's completely fine. But that is then in total my 500k team. I don't think it's anyone you get. You could probably improve the team as a whole, but obviously it's most important to get a marksman player like Son and then build around the best after that. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.